Well, let's turn our attention now to the economic fallout of the war on Gaza. Yuka Royer from our business desk is here in studio. Yuka, ceasefire deal, as we know, has been reached. Welcome news for the civilian population in Gaza. It's been gripped by a hunger crisis.
The United Nations, Sharon, has repeatedly warned about famine. Last October, it said that more than 1.8 million Gazans were experiencing critical levels of hunger, with 70% of agricultural land destroyed. A World Bank report released last month said real GDP in the Palestinian territories has plunged in the first half of 2024 alone by as much as 86% in Gaza, while the West Bank saw a decline of 23%. 4 in 5 people are out of work in the Gaza Strip, and the private sector there has been pushed to the brink, with most establishments either being completely destroyed or damaged. As food, fuel and other essential goods have become increasingly hard to come by and the amount of cash became depleted, inflation skyrocketed to over 300%. The most significant price increases have been in foodstuffs, which had risen 440% last October from a year earlier. Fuel costs increased by 200% in the same period. Many people have lost their means of communication, and private telecom companies have been paying out of their own pockets to install antennas on trucks near shelters, Sharon.
And there's recently been a deal between Israel and the Palestinian Authority, Yuka, about unblocking so-called clearance revenues.
According to the Times of Israel, an agreement was reached on Sunday to release $500 million worth of those funds. Now, clearance revenues refer to taxes collected by Israel on behalf of the Palestinian Authority, such as import tariffs on goods that must first enter through an Israeli-controlled border. It's a mechanism that was put in place as part of interim peace agreements known as the Paris Protocol in the 1990s. The money collected accounts for about 65% of the Palestinian Authority's income. After the October 7 attacks, Israel refused to transfer the portion of those funds earmarked for Gaza, arguing that the money would end up in the hands of Hamas. The PA then refused to accept any of the clearance revenues in protest. In February last year, a scheme was agreed to transfer the funds via a third party, Norway, but it collapsed after Oslo joined Spain and Ireland to formally recognise the Palestinian state in May. Now, the freeze on those funds resulted in public service disruptions across the Palestinian territories, and salaries for public servants have been cut to 60 to 70% since October 2023. Sunday's deal will see about $500 million from the withheld tax revenue released. However, it will not go directly to Palestinian people. The funds will be redirected to cover debt owed by the Palestinian Authority to Israel's state-run utility for the electricity and fuel it supplied.
Yuka, thank you so much for all of that.